Hello YouTube, I'm here with Scott from Scottish Aquatics, and we're going to look around and check out all of his fish tanks. How many do you got? Do you know?
We got about 14 fish tanks and 2 reptile tanks up at the moment.
Awesome, so let's get started.
Let's do it.
Alright, so the first tank we're going to look at is the planted 125-gallon tank. Looks like we got rainbows, angelfish, really nice bala shark, Pangasius, catfish. What else do you got in here?
We got a small group of angelfish in here. We also have some community fish. We have tetras, we have mollies, platies, black neons are up here. We got the silver tip tetras. We also have a black ghost knife in here, which is a decent size. He likes to hide in the plants. We have a leopard bushfish. There's also a Raphael catfish.
I think I saw a Pandagara. There he is.
There's a nice group of Pandagaras in here. They do a great job keeping the plants clean. There's a clown Plecostomus who loves to keep the wood clean. He does a great job at it. There's also a high fin spotted Pleco in here.
Are these lemon tetra?
Yes. Lemon tetras.
Oh, here's another Pandagara. Plants are doing amazing in here.
Yeah, I got some nice large Amazon swords in here. Lots of Venubius, very large Apongeton olvaceus over there in the back. Also another one taken off here in the front.
Yeah, the Pandagara is a fish I need to get. I've actually never kept them before. These guys are awesome.
I really fancy those fish because I kind of wanted to steer away from autocinkless in this tank, so I wanted to go with a different route, something that's going to be just as effective. And believe it or not, these Pandagaras, just 3 of them, are quite effective in this 125 gallon.
I scared him.
Oh, that was the porthole flagtail catfish. And here's the bushfish.
Look at this guy.
There's the ghost lamp, yep.
Wow, that's an awesome fish. We got the bushfish out.
He's over here in the corner, yeah.
Oops, I knew that was there too. Oh, here we go. Alright, yeah, hanging out in the back. Now what are you feeding them?
What we just fed them was actually a cichlid pellet. Cichlid's BioGold from Hikari.
Okay, yeah, Hikari.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the loaches coming out.
Zebra loaches, clown loaches, albino corridoras, pepper corridoras. There's quite a few different types of corys in here.
Yeah, here's the peppered over here, scaring off the flagtail again. Now all your tanks are planted, right?
That is correct. At the moment I think I have plants in every single tank. I've tried to avoid it at one point or another, but it always winds up getting plants in it.
Yep, plants make everything better.
Yes they do, yes they do.
Just makes fish happier too,
It
in
really
my
does.
opinion.
It provides a better habitat.
Does anything breed in this tank? I'm sure they would get eaten right away.
Exactly, I'm sure they do, but I just don't ever get to see the intel. What else did you find?
I just scared away the big Pleco. Oh, there's the clown Pleco though.
Yep.
That's cool. Alright, let's take a look at the Discus Tank. Alright, so this is another 125-gallon tank. Now, do you know how many Discus are actually in here?
I've lost count. There's quite a few. I think there's about 35 to 40 somewhere.
That is crazy. That is a massive school of Discus.
They all seem very happy. I've had no problems with keeping this many together. They are bred from the parents, which are in there, so it's kind of a big happy family, if you will.
And so you bred all of these?
All these fish in here have been bred by me, except for the larger of the Discus there.
Do you still breed them at all, or?
I plan to still breed them, yes. I need to get a couple variations of colors. I need to get another orange, a couple snake skins, just so I can get the different variations up. As you can see, I got a lot of blues in there. I want to get some different colors.
And of course, plants are doing awesome too.
Plants are doing swell. This tank stays at around 85 to 86 degrees. Plants don't seem to have too much of a fuss about it.
Do you find that they grow faster in the warmer water?
So far, yes. I believe that they spread faster, they propagate faster.
And you got the Lucipennis in here as well.
I use manzanita driftwood in this tank, and the last tank you saw was Mopani. So I try to make everything a little bit different in each one.
Now, you know, I've always been against owning discus, but this makes me want a discus tank.
And that's the best thing I've heard all day. I've been trying to get Bob here to take a second guess at it, you know.
Wow, this is just amazing.
And they're active. They're active. They are not, by all means, secluded. They don't hide. They're not scared. They're not nervous. I walk up to the tank and they all come running up to the tank.
What are we watching on TV? I see John Candy.
That's a good question.
Wow. So what else you got in here?
There's dwarf petricolas. I believe there's 3 dwarf petricolas in there. I also have a snowball Pleco. He likes to hide in that log over there next to the manzanita. There is about 6 stir-by corridoras, and that's about it for the inhabitants of this tank.
What's your maintenance like on this tank? How many water changes?
Very simple. I do it once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. The discus don't seem to have too much of a problem with it as long as I have the necessary items that I need, which include catawba leaves and things to provide tannins in the water. Usually when I add those to this tank, the water condition seems to stay a little more tame, if you will. So I can go another week without a water change if necessary.
And this is just tap water?
Yeah.
Because our water is insanely useless?
It is really useless. Like I said, that's where the tannins, I think, have come into a bigger use for me, considering the water conditions that come out of the tap here.
Yeah, we have very soft water for people that didn't know.
And very high pH.
You have high pH?
Yeah, I think
I have a low pH.
Really? Mine's coming out the tap at like 7.6, 7.8.
Wow, so I'm about 2 miles away.
Right. And
I come out the tap at about 6.7, 6.8.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
So we have a different water source.
So I need to move about 2 miles.
Yep. Wow, I'm in love with this tank. This might be my favorite tank so far.
That's awesome.
All 2 of them.
That's awesome, right?
So here it looks like we have 3 nano tanks on a 55-gallon stand.
Yep.
Alright, we'll start with this one right here. What size is this?
That is 7-gallon. I believe to be a 7-gallon. It's about 12 inches by 12 inches. I keep neon tetras in here and yellow bee cherry shrimp, if you will. Neocaradinas.
There we go, yep. Are they breeding in here for you?
Not yet. I'm kind of hoping it happens soon. I just picked up a few more of these guys the other day, hoping to get a male out of the bunch so that the breeding can commence.
Well, you definitely have enough plants for it.
Some nice Rotala in there.
Do you know what type of Rotala it is?
That is Rotala... I don't think it's Rotala indica. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I have loads of it. It's growing in different tanks, and it grows at different conditions. Like this one here, you can see the tips of all the plants are looking real pink.
Yeah.
That's from no influence to me. I think it's just how close the light is. I think these
usually the case, yeah.
Yeah, these ones are getting the proper lighting, as opposed to my Guppy Tank, which you'll see here shortly. Has a little bit dimmer lighting, so the plants are very green.
So you got the duckweed in there.
There's some duckweed in there.
Is that in there on purpose?
No. I actually went through and cleaned that out the other day, and it made its way back somehow. I don't know how, but it did.
And it looks like we got crypt, maybe Java moss.
There's that's a crypt, acrinum.
And then Pintofanita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the crinum calamastratum.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite plants.
Yep, I love that one. There's
I noticed,
the
big one in the 125. Yeah.
And then these are some pink flamingos that are. They're not doing so good right now. Trying to figure out what they need.
Leaves on them, so that's good at least.
Right, they're not dying back, but they're not growing. So I'm hoping I maybe add some CO2 and some iron and see if that helps. I'm just a little nervous about adding iron with the shrimp in there.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to overdose on iron.
Right, it's a little sensitive, especially since I only have a few of the yellows. This is not the tank to experiment on, so.
Yeah, you can also overdose on iron and fry all your plants as well.
Is that right?
Yep.
Alright, good information.
I've made that mistake before.
Oh, no doubt. Alright, the next one is a sad attempt at trying to breed these German blue rams. I had them in my discus tank. They were doing really well in there. They were breeding and laying eggs and hatching fry. unfortunately, with as many discus that were in there, they weren't making it very long. So I took them out, threw them in here, raised the temperature of the tank, hoping I can simulate the environment of the discus as much as possible and get them to breed for me. So we're going to try it again. I'm going to add some tannins to the water and see if that makes any kind of difference with...
How long have they been in here?
Maybe 3 to 4 weeks.
So it looks like you have, I see, wisteria, jungle val,
water wisteria. I believe that this is some bucephalandra here up in the front.
Definitely some boost and some anubias.
We got a bunch of the grass plant. What is it called?
Is that dwarf chainsword?
No, it is
Sagittaria.
No, there is dwarf sag in here. Yes, there's a lot of dwarf sag in here. But there's some of the taller bunches, and those are you can buy those at PetSmart, and they come in little back pouches, right? I forget the name of it.
Yeah, I'll probably remember it like 3 in the morning.
Yep. I'll remember right when you walk out the door.
Third one here, the last one on this stand. What do we got here? Another 7-gallon?
Yep, another 7-gallon. This one is a White Cloud minnow tank with red cherries.
Are those gold white clouds?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the gold white clouds. Now this tank is kind of heavily planted here. I got CO2 running in there at the moment. Lots of color. Ludwigia, dwarf baby tears, kind of attempting to take off over there next to that rock. There is...
let's see, cherry shrimp.
There's cherry shrimp, loads of cherry shrimp in there. There's some narrow leaf Java fern in there. There's also some...
Do you know what the moss is?
That moss is mini Pinellia.
Okay, yep.
I believe is how it's pronounced. And that stuff I've had a hard time kind of getting to take off. It likes to give me a week where it's doing really good, and then the next week it'll kind of stunt and grow a bunch of algae on it. So I'm trying to dump a bunch of CO2 on it and see if that's going to help it.
At least it's not dying back.
It's not dying back. I had a little piece, I had that specific piece in my shrimp tank that you'll see here shortly, and some of it actually must have fell off and spread onto a piece of wood in there, because I got some in there that's actually taken off.
Now, do these breed in here for you?
Not yet, but that's the goal. I'm hoping that they will do so soon, because I don't have anything but the shrimp in that tank, so I'm hoping the shrimp don't mess with any eggs.
And you don't keep it heated, do you?
No. There's no heaters on this tank or this tank, only the middle tank with the German blues.
Awesome. Alright, so this is a newer tank for you.
Yes, this is actually only about 2, maybe 3 days old.
And what do you got going on in here?
This is a pretty much empty tank as far as inhabitants goes. The only thing we got are 4 fire-belly toads. We have a half aquatic, half land kind of theme going. A little bit of an island oasis with the plants growing above
here's
the water.
Couple. Now, you've kept these with fish before?
Yes.
With no problems?
These were with my keely fish, and I had no problems.
Because I know we're going to get the comments that they're poisonous.
Yeah. What I've noticed about that is I believe they're only poisonous when threatened. So unless you got a really big fish that might threaten them, you should be alright.
Huh, I've never heard that. I've just read that just do water changes will keep the poison down.
Right.
That's
Same
cool,
thing,
though. Yeah.
same thing, but actually when I had them in a different tank with those other fish, it was a very low maintenance tank. I had mainly just a couple keely fish in there that didn't really require too much water quality, if you will, being puddle fish. And so they all did fine with minimal water changes, minimal filtration. Had a thriving shrimp colony in there with them as well.
So it looks like we got Amazon sword, some more wisteria, and then what's this in the back left here?
Microsword.
Oh, really?
That is microsword. That is what you would normally find at a Petco in the glass containers that they sell their plants out of. A lot of people mistake it for an aquatic plant. I also have done the same thing and have never had great success. So we're going to try it slightly immersed and see how well it takes off.
Oh, yeah, it's really dark.
Right. If you look closely on that first one there that's kind of sticking out of the water, you can see a lot of light green on there. It looks like some new growth is actually coming through, so
yeah, that's cool.
I think it's growing.
Okay, so right next to the toads, we got the leopard gecko. What's this guy's name?
His name is Nightcrawler, and it is a boy. We got him from a breeder.
Here he comes.
Yeah, there he is.
There we go.
Yeah, we picked him up from a breeder. Apparently he wasn't having very success, being that this guy would kill most of the inhabitants that was put in the same tank with him. So he got rid of him. We took him, gave him a home for himself, and This is pretty much how he likes it. We went the whole natural terrarium with the dirt and everything, and he doesn't come out enough to enjoy it, so...
It's probably a lot easier to clean with the carpet,
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right. It's easier to maintain.
And focus, there we go. So what size is this?
This is a 72-gallon bow front reef aquarium. It's got the overflow box here on the back, draining down to my sub on the bottom. So I got the sock on the sump filtration here.
Awesome.
This is new to me. I'm not very familiar with salt water. I've only had this tank for maybe 3 months, and it has been a total experiment for me. So far, everything has survived. I've lost nothing. Everything has grown tremendously.
So everything came like this when you picked it up?
Yep.
Someone basically said, I don't want this tank anymore.
Yep. They said, I don't want to take care of it no more. We don't take care of it as it is. So, here you go.
Now, we were talking about the algae earlier, and I actually really like it.
Like I said, I think it adds a certain color to it that you won't be able to get out of a saltwater tank very easily. So.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a planet tank.
Right, right.
So what,
the best of both worlds.
Fish-wise, what's in here?
Now, what we have is an engineered goby who likes to hide under the rocks. That
Probably down here in this hole.
Yep, right down there. He don't come out until feeding time. We can see if we can't get him out, actually. Let's do that. And he'll be out here momentarily. He is cool.
Oh, yeah, here he comes. Wow. Just like that, he comes out.
Just like that. But he's the type of goby that keeps that eel look to him. He stays elongated. He gets to 1 foot to 2 foot, and is totally reef safe. If you have more than one, you got to kind of introduce them at the same time to the same tank. So being that I only have one in there, he's probably the only one I'll ever be able to have in this tank anyway.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get too close to him.
Yeah, just got to move it in slow. He's a nervous guy. There's peppermint shrimp in this tank. There's a pajama cardinal. There's a maroon clownfish. And also a banded shrimp.
There we go. Now I can get him. Wow, this guy is awesome.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite fish in there. We were just discussing it the other day. He's one of the main attractions of this tank. He's a big part of how this tank is going to end up in the end.
And what do you feed him?
He's very versatile. He eats pellets. I like to feed brine shrimp to this tank as much as possible, considering he's still pretty young and needs to eat as much as he can.
Alright, so what do we got going on here?
This one is a 30-gallon cube, and once upon a time was actually my cryptocrin factory, as I called it, because the crypts were going nuts. They were growing to the top of the tank, filled front to back. It was a very thick forest of them. One day they all just decided to wilt back on me. I didn't have time to do a water change emergency, and so within 2 days I think they all wilted back.
Yeah,
But-
I've been there with Crips.
Yep, it allowed me to actually see all the inhabitants though. There's a bristlenose Pleco in there that is huge. I haven't seen him in months, and I didn't realize that he was still in here, and then he came out one day and it was huge.
See, that's why I like Plecos.
Right?
It's a surprise every time we see one.
Yes, it is. Loads of cherry shrimp in here. Loads of cherry shrimp in here.
Everything in here is cherry, man. I can't believe the red's in here.
Yeah, very, very nice reds.
Now-
I kind of want to stick to the same theme with this tank, right? Because of kind of what it's doing right now. I want to get more reds in there.
Is that a Serpe Tetra?
Yeah.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, he's the only one, unfortunately. I want to get some more of them, though. They're real cool. He's a feisty one.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah, he's a feisty one. I got some male and female cherry barbs in there that I'm hoping are going to lay some eggs.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They're just getting eaten.
Yep.
Yeah, those things, at least mine, breed like crazy.
Right, right, right.
People always ask me how I get mine so red, but yours are super red as well.
Yeah.
And we probably got them from the same person, too.
Probably, yeah. Got the pencil fish in there. Those guys are really cool. I really enjoy those.
Yeah, we were just talking about those on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some of those.
Yeah, those guys are real cool.
Looks like we have a rimless tank.
Yeah, this is a really nice tank. This is a 45-gallon rimless. A simple hang-on back filter. This tank doesn't require very much maintenance at all. I only have the flower horn and 2 Juliachromis in here. So small inhabitants, feedings are easy, small, so it doesn't dirty the tank very bad. We have lots of Anubias in here, different types of Anubias. I believe Anubias histifolia, which are the tall, narrow leaves. And then we have lots of Java moss. We have some some Java ferns over here, kind of glued to this rock here.
What about this girl? Does she have a name?
That is Bubbles. Her name is Bubbles. She is kind of our pride and joy. She's one of our social fish that we like to show off. We had her in a tank by herself for a while, and then we decided to put her in a community tank, which actually worked for a while. What actually happened during that period was the clown loaches that were in the tank were actually always antagonizing her, if you will, chasing her around, kind of giving her problems, not leaving her alone. So,
I thought for sure you're gonna go the other way with that, but
yeah, you would think so. But I wanted to get her a little bit of peace and quiet, so we put her back in this tank by herself. Her and the Julia Chromis kind of taunt each other, but it doesn't really ever get too much past that.
yeah, I'm sure being rock dwellers that they'll
Yeah,
just fine. Yeah.
They hide out in the rocks. They'll peek their little nose out just to taunt her. And that would be that.
Awesome. So we got next to this one.
Alright, let's keep going. We got another 7-gallon nano.
Did you pick these up on a wholesale lot, or?
These ones I actually got from a buddy, the same gentleman who gave me my discus, my first set of discus. He was getting out of the hobby, not completely out of the hobby, but he needed to make some room. So he hit me up knowing I am an avid fish keeper, so he asked me if I wanted some tanks. I said, heck yeah, and here we are. So we got all these rimless tanks from him. Thank you to him. These decorations of plants in here are actually from the Bearded Fish Keeper. He had to downgrade a tank or two. Don't worry, he's still there. And
yeah, I got some really nice Java Fern Windelob in the
yeah,
back.
a nice set of Windelob up there. I'm hoping that takes off and spreads real good because I want to utilize that.
That's one that you don't see very often.
Correct. I got one cherry shrimp in there, and the rest are just guppies and endlers.
Yeah, this one's looking good too.
They made their way. I think I put 2 fish in there, and one of them was pregnant, and so they hatched, and now there's a bunch of babies in there.
Yeah.
Typical story.
Yeah.
Typical guppy story.
All right, let's start with the top one over here.
All right, now this is a cool tank. This one is a shrimp only, and I like to consider this one my high quality shrimp tank. This is where I keep my high quality shrimp. I got the most potent red cherries that I think I have ever seen in this tank. This tank contains red Riley shrimp as well as red crystals. Crystal reds, if you will. Some A grade, or double A grade, whatever, however they grade them.
Yeah, I saw some scooting around earlier.
Yeah. It's quite a big tank, big habitat, 65 gallons. So it's kind of a big house for just some shrimp, so easy for them to get lost. I love the plants in this tank. We have dwarf satch that is not very dwarf at all.
No.
Some
there's one.
bulbitis.
There we go.
There's a shrimp right there. There's a crystal.
Nice.
And these are just red lava rocks that I picked up from the local fish store.
What kind of floating plants?
These are water lettuce.
Okay, oh yeah, now I see.
Yeah. Some nice roots on them.
Yep.
Real nice roots on them. That's the only tank actually I have that those floating plants have rooted like that. I've had it in several different plants.
Some Swasser Tang over here?
Yep, some Swasser Tang. We got moss balls. Nice banana plant right there, actually taking off with some nice coloration.
Oh yeah, there we go.
We got the...
You know how many... oh yeah,
Bulvianus. Bulvianus, however you pronounce it. We got
huge
mini bulbitis back there on that wood.
Big piece of bulbitis here.
Big piece of bulbitis here.
Do you know how many crystal shrimp are in here?
There are 5 crystals that I am trying to get them to breed. I just haven't quite figured out their formula yet. The cherries are breeding in here. I tried getting the setup kind of in tune for them. I bought the Fluval Stratum shrimp substrate, hoping that it would bring the pH down to a level where the crystals would appreciate and want to breed.
Yeah, this is just a really nice tank.
Thank you, thank you.
And then right below, what do we got down here?
So, big waste of space down here if I don't utilize it for a fish tank, right?
Absolutely.
The shrimp don't need a canister filter, so I wasn't going to put one down here. They don't need a sump right now, so they're fine. Got sponges in there. We have the Guppy Tank / Endler tank, and This thing is heavily planted. This is a very thick forest here. We have water wisteria, we have cobamba, we also have Rotala.
Is that the same Rotala from the other?
Same Rotala from the other
Right.
tank. As you can see the difference in growth, this is real green in here. It doesn't have that real bright red in here.
Is this Rotala Wallachai or Walichi or something like that? The thin,
That
the
one
really
there?
thin stuff, yeah.
That one, yes.
That's a plant
that
I've never
stuff
been
is
able to grow.
right. That stuff is really sweet. I had one bundle of it, and it wasn't doing very good in the tank that I had it in. It started wilting back and started dying away. I had like 1 or 2 stems left that looked alive, so I decided to pull them out of the tank that they were in and move them in here. And I've kind of left it alone for the last several months. And since then, I'm actually seeing little stems of them growing up and popping up out of the top there. So we should have a nice little abundance of it here soon.
Yeah, I've never had that stuff survive going from immersed to submersed.
Yeah. Some of these have been real tough on me. Stem plants more than anything. One is also a new tank. Just set up about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Had an established filter, so I decided to set up a little. I believe it's a 3-gallon. I could be wrong. I got this one also from the Bearded Fish Keeper. Thank you to him. I decided to put this one big giant rock in here just to fill up that back wall, and as you can see I glued some flame moss kind of going upwards, hoping it kind of gives it that upward motion, upward growth, and it'll kind of fill up that wall of flame moss.
Oh yeah, that's going to be neat.
Yeah, it's going to be neat once it decides to take off, once it kind of fills in. We have bacopa growing on the sides here that I'm hoping will thicken up as well once I do some trimming. Kind of create a thick bush on each side of it, lime green look with the dark green in the middle, and then maybe with some small little red bushes here in the front, right?
We got some more of the crypt down here. This
Yep.
looks like the Wendetii.
Yep. Yeah, I have a bunch of that. That stuff has also been tough on me to get going. I wind up getting that stuff, and I plant it, and it kind of stays how it is forever. It just doesn't change, it doesn't grow, it doesn't die back, it just kind of stays how it is.
Yeah, I have the same thing. It takes like 6 to 8 months and then it starts taking
And then
off.
it starts taking off. The inhabitants of this tank is a mono shrimp as the main inhabitants. There's one hill stream loach. He likes to hide. Let's throw a little rapashi in here. Let's get these amanos going crazy. These guys love this. This is the goldfish blend. I actually got this as a sample, so I don't have goldfish. So I figured what is going to be something good that I can feed this to that would appreciate it. Tried it out on the amano shrimp, and these guys went nuts for it.
Yeah, you can see them.
As you can see them.
It's like when you give catnip to a cow.
Yep. Yep. They're going crazy. So it really gets them active, really gets them swimming around the tank.
So you don't even actually prepare it, you just put it in.
Yep.
Just dry.
Yep. Fighting over it. I've never seen shrimp fight before. These guys are fighting.
Yeah, mono shrimp can be kind of feisty.
Yep.
They'll actually kill neos.
Is that right?
Yeah, so don't put them with like your cherries or
Alright,
anything.
good call.
They'll kill the babies.
Good call.
I learned that the hard way too.
Yeah. Quite an active shrimp, these guys.
And they get a lot bigger than people think too.
Yeah, they're not small. I don't even think the biggest one is out right now. There's one in here that is just massive. He's probably the size of my thumb.
Yeah, I love doing these with rainbow fish because rainbow fish can't eat them.
Yeah.
Alright, well there you go. Fish tank tour, and who's this guy that you're holding on to?
This is Patenathere, which actually stands for Royal Snake in Scotland. We felt appropriate considering the name of our aquatics is Scottish Aquatics. You guys are welcome to join us at YouTube, Facebook group, so on. We do things, lizards, reptiles, fish, we do it all.
Amphibians.
Amphibians, we got frogs, toads, you name it. So we got cats, we got all the animals.
And we'll have the links to all those down in the description, as well as cards popping up to your YouTube channel.
I appreciate you guys coming, Bob. I thank you for your time and taking us on a tour.
Yeah, definitely head on over there, check them out. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see everyone next time.
Thank you.